gorgeous day today, and high temperatures struggle to even hit 70 degrees, well below our normal. Started out the morning with a little bit more cloud cover, but now bright sunshine, and we'll enjoy clear skies overnight tonight. And with low humidity, we will set up for another chilly evening and chilly morning. 70 degrees our current temperature. Humidity is only at 39%, and a very light wind at 10 miles an hour out of the west-northwest. But on our visible satellite, you see that earlier morning cloud cover that we had around. Nothing very substantial, but a little more cloudiness earlier. But also when you watch the pattern from the upper and mid levels of the atmosphere, that strong northerly flow is helping to reinforce and keep that cool, dry air in place. 70, as I mentioned, was our high for the day, 11 degrees below average. We needed some days like this after such a hot stretch of weather. And our morning low, 58 degrees. That was on the south shore. North shore temperatures were in the 40s. We'll see 40s and 50s again by tomorrow morning. 60s and right at 70 degrees at most locations at the moment, and very dry air, which is going to be with us for most of the week. Even as we start to feel the humidity creeping up a little bit more toward the end of the week, I would never describe even any day this week as muggy. A little more humid, maybe a little more damp, yes, but not really getting into the mugginess anytime soon, thankfully. Breezy outside at the moment, a light sustained wind, but winds have been gusting at times up to 17 plus miles an hour. Winds will be settling during the evening and overnight. The upper pattern, this is that deep upper trough that brought in the cool, dry air. Of course, the pattern is not going to last forever, but as long as it's in place, we do keep that good feel air in place. Now that is going to start changing. The upper trough is going to start lifting out. We will see another such upper trough move in toward the end of the week. Weak front is moving on through. However, this next upper trough, not quite as potent as the last one. So while we will keep almost more the status quo behind the front and a very nice weekend on the way, it's not going to be nearly as chilly. So gradually our temperatures are going to be coming up. Lower 80s by Friday, and that's even behind the front. The cool, dry air kind of moves in behind it, but temperatures still only in the low 80s. Maybe some upper 70s this weekend, but not quite as chilly as this last front was yesterday, keeping us cool as well as today and tomorrow. And even the temperature outlook beyond our 7-day forecast, next 6 to 10 days, is calling for us to likely start seeing temperatures back above normal. But the normal high is 81 degrees, and so above normal would be probably more low to mid 80s. Still, even that would be fairly pleasant. And as I said, it doesn't look like we're getting into the muggy air anytime soon. But a cloudiness associated with that deep upper trough, and that's where all of our rainfall has been. Did not get any rain out of this front, and probably not going to see much with the next front either. That northerly wind will remain in place tonight. Lighter, though, as we head into the overnight, and fairly light winds during the day tomorrow. Gradually, we'll start to see a wind shift, and eventually the winds will be coming back off of the Gulf. So that's why I'm saying a slight increase in humidity, but I would never describe any day as muggy anytime soon. A couple of areas in the eastern Pacific that could bear watching for those folks over near Mexico. And then the only other area in the Atlantic at this time, still Invest 94, still showing a high percent chance of developing in the near future, but that is not a threat for us. We're now getting to that time of year where anything really in the Atlantic basin far out is not going to be a threat for us. And looking at all storms in history, going back to 1850, that develop after October 16th and come within 100 miles of New Orleans, since 1850, we've only ever had 5. Now, 2 of those were tropical storms, and the only major hurricane we ever had was Zeta. So we are starting to see the curtain come down on the 2023 hurricane season for us. So good news there. We needed a quiet hurricane season, and it looks like we got one. 72 degrees our high tomorrow after a chilly morning. Another chilly start to the day on Wednesday, 40s and 50s. Gradually warming back to the upper 80s. Still very nice, even though we'll have a little bit of a milder afternoon for this coming weekend.